Hello readers, welcome back to Nutan's library. Friends, in the part 1 of the book summary, we covered 50 techniques mentioned by the author. Now let's cover rest of the techniques in this part. Make sure you watch the video till the end because again, these techniques are going to be very helpful in enhancing your communication skills. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, then immediately like the video and subscribe to the channel. Technique 51. Grapevine Glory. A compliment heard directly may not be as thrilling as one heard indirectly. The most valuable way to express admiration is not through a phone call or message, but by sharing it with a friend. This way you are creating a grapevine in a good sense. This approach avoids any suspicion of flattery or insincerity and creates the impression that you are spreading the word about the person's exceptional qualities. Technique 52. Carrier Pigeon Kudos. Gossip spreads like wildfire when bad news is involved. Instead, spread good news and praise like a carrier pigeon. Whenever you hear something positive about someone, deliver it to them. While you may not become a legend by doing this, you'll earn the reputation of being a thoughtful and kind person. Technique 53. Implied Magnificence. Implied magnificence is a technique to make people feel good about themselves by acknowledging their achievements or attributes. You don't have to explicitly praise someone, but instead use subtle cues or indirect references to indicate that you think highly of them. For example, saying, "I could never do what you do," or "I bet you're great at that," can make someone feel good about themselves and more inclined to talk to you. The idea is to make people feel valued and appreciated, which can create a positive impression and a better relationship between you and the other person. Technique 54. Accidental Adulation. Incorporate subtle compliments into your conversation. Slip them in as parentheses so they catch people off guard with a delightful surprise. For instance, you could tell a colleague, "Because you're so knowledgeable in contract law, you would have read between the lines, but stupidly I signed it." However, avoid quizzing them later on the actual point of the conversation, as the pleasant shock of your compliment may distract them from it. Technique 55. The Killer Compliment. Whenever you are talking with a stranger you'd like to make part of your professional or personal future, search for one attractive, specific, and unique quality he or she has. As the conversation draws to a close, make direct eye contact, use their name, and deliver a genuine and impactful compliment that will leave them feeling appreciated and remembered. By doing so, you can make a positive impression and establish a connection with the person you are speaking to. Technique 56. Little Strokes. Show appreciation for your colleagues, friends, and loved ones by using verbal little strokes such as "nice job," "well done," or "cool." Don't let them wonder if they've done well. Make sure they know how much you appreciate them. These little strokes can be especially effective in professional settings where people may be focused on achieving specific goals. By acknowledging people's contributions and making them feel valued, you can help build a positive and supportive work environment. Technique 57. The Knee-Jerk Wow. Praise people as soon as they finish a task with an immediate and instinctive response like, "Wow, you were amazing." Don't worry if they doubt your sincerity because the euphoria of the moment can dull their ability to objectively assess your praise. The knee-jerk wow technique can help create a positive atmosphere and build rapport quickly, which can lead to more productive and enjoyable conversations later on. Technique 58. Boomeranging. Boomeranging is a conversational technique that involves returning a conversation topic to the person who initiated it. Just as a boomerang flies right back to the thrower, let compliments boomerang right back to the giver. Like the French, quickly murmur something that expresses, "That's very kind of you." This technique can help create a more engaging and dynamic conversation as well as foster strong connections with others. Technique 59. The Tombstone Game. Start by asking the important people in your life what they value the most about themselves. Commit their response to memory without mentioning it again. Then, when the time is right to express your appreciation or love, use their own words to convey your message. This personalized approach can be incredibly powerful as it speaks directly to their deepest sense of self. When you match your compliments to what someone truly values about themselves, the impact is truly profound. Technique 60. Talking Gestures. Imagine yourself as the protagonist of your own personal radio show every time you make a phone call. To truly captivate your audience, you must transform your physical expressions into audible ones, converting your smiles into cheerful tones and your nods into affirmative sounds. In short, you must convey all your non-verbal cues through the sound of your voice. Amp up your energy and enthusiasm by at least 30% to make a lasting impression. Technique 61. Name Shower. Using someone's name during a phone call can be a powerful way to keep their attention and make them feel more engaged in the conversation. Unlike in-person interactions where overuse of someone's name can come across as pandering, on the phone it can help recreate the feeling of eye contact and personal connection. So don't be afraid to sprinkle their name throughout the conversation, especially when you are miles apart. Technique 62. When answering the phone, it's important to maintain a professional and friendly tone. Greet the caller warmly and clearly before identifying who you are speaking with. Once you know who is calling, allow your smile to shine through your voice, conveying your happiness and excitement to speak with them. By doing this, you create a personalized and welcoming experience that makes the caller feel valued and appreciated. Technique 63. The Sneaky Screen. When you have to screen your calls, train your staff to answer with a cheerful tone and say, "Yes, I can connect you. May I ask who's calling?" If the caller has already identified themselves, the response should be, "Of course, Mr. or Mrs. X. I'll put you through right away." If the caller is not available, the secretary should deliver the message with a professional and polite manner that assures the caller that they are not being screened. This approach can prevent callers from taking it personally and help maintain a positive relationship with them. Technique 64. Salute the spouse. When making phone calls, it's important to acknowledge and greet the person who answers, whether it's a home or office number. If you're calling someone's office frequently, it's a good idea to make friends with the secretary, as they often have the power to sway the VIP's opinion of you. Similarly, if you're calling someone's home, be sure to acknowledge and greet the spouse. It's surprising how many big persons' spouses and secretaries have significant influence on important business decisions, such as hiring, firing, promoting, and purchasing. Secretaries also play a crucial role in determining which calls get through to the boss and which proposals get attention. It's important to remember that spouses and secretaries have names, lives, feelings, and influence. So it's essential to treat them with respect and deal with them accordingly. Technique 65. What color is your time? No matter how urgent you think your call, always begin by asking the person about timing. Either use the "what color is your time" device or simply ask, "Is this a convenient time for you to talk?" They should honestly answer red, yellow, or green. Red means "I'm really rushed." Yellow means "I'm busy, but what's on your mind?" If it's quick, we can deal with it. Green means "Sure, I've got time, let's talk." This simple act of consideration shows that you value their time and respect their schedule. By taking this step, you'll avoid interrupting them and potentially getting a negative response due to bad timing. Remember to always be respectful of the other person's time and schedule. Technique 66. Constantly change outgoing message. This technique refers to the voicemail or answering machine message people leave when they are not available to answer their phones. If you want to be perceived as conscientious and reliable, leave a short, professional and friendly greeting as your outgoing message. No music, no jokes, no inspirational messages, no boasts, bells or whistles. And change it every day. Your message doesn't have to be flawless. A little cough or stammer gives a lovely, unpretentious reality to your message. Technique 67. Your 10-second audition. When making a call, it's a good idea to clear your throat beforehand. If you reach an answering machine, treat the beep like a cue to deliver your 10-second audition. This is your chance to make a quick but impactful impression and prove that you're worth a callback. But if you're caught off guard and aren't ready to leave a message, hang up before the beep to avoid leaving a negative impression. Take a moment to craft an engaging and persuasive message. Practice it once with confidence and clarity, then call back to leave your message. Technique 68. Instead of using formal titles or names, use more casual language when speaking to a secretary or assistant. Instead of saying, "May I speak to Mr. Johnson, please?" Try saying, "Hey, it's Dave. Is he available?" Using more familiar language signals to the secretary that you and her boss are old buddies. Technique 69. I hear your other line. When you hear background noise on the phone, pause your conversation and ask about it. Say something like, "I hear your other line," or your dog barking, your baby crying, your spouse calling you. Ask whether she has to attend to it. This shows that you are aware and respectful of your caller's situation. If you are speaking with someone in a different time zone, make an effort to convert your references to their local time. For example, instead of saying, "I'm available at 3 p.m., say, "I'm available at 3 p.m. your time." It's also important to acknowledge holidays and special events in their culture, even if they are unfamiliar to you. Extend your well wishes and show your interest in their customs. Remember, being aware of and respectful to your caller's circumstances is key to being a great communicator. Technique 70. Instant replay. A helpful tip for improving your communication skills is to record all your phone conversations and listen to them again later. You may pick up on significant subtleties that you missed the first time around. Instant replay also allows you to become more attuned to your caller's levels of communication beyond just their words, helping you to better understand their enthusiasm or hesitation about a particular idea. This technique can also help hide any gaps in your understanding, allowing you to better serve your clients or colleagues. Technique 71. Munching or mingling. During social gatherings, it's better to mingle than munch. The idea is to put your plate down and use your hands to gesticulate while talking to others. This makes you look more open, approachable, and engaged in the conversation. When you are holding a plate of food, you come across as closed off and unapproachable. Also, it is easy to avoid people when you are munching away in a corner. Therefore, to make the most of social events, it is recommended to mingle and socialize without getting preoccupied with the food. Technique 72. Rubberneck the room. It involves looking around the room during a social event to find someone or something interesting to talk about. The goal is to find a conversation starter, whether it be a unique piece of artwork, an interesting individual, or even a peculiar object. Once you have found something worth mentioning, you can approach the person and start a conversation. This technique can help ease the discomfort of walking into a room full of strangers, as it provides a focus and an opportunity to make a connection with someone. Technique 73. Be the chooser, not the choosy. The idea is to take control of social situations by acting like the chooser, rather than being passive and waiting to be chosen or invited by others. This can involve taking the initiative to introduce yourself to others, suggesting activities or topics of conversation, and being confident and proactive in your interactions. By being the chooser, you increase your social power and attractiveness to others, and can create more opportunities for social connections and networking. Technique 74. When attending a social gathering, make yourself approachable by positioning your body in an open stance. Keep your arms and hands open and relaxed, inviting others to come closer. Avoid crossing your arms or clenching your fists, as this may give off an unwelcoming vibe. Use your body language to communicate that you are open, accepting, and interested in what others have to say. This will help attract people to you and make them feel more comfortable in your presence. Technique 75. Tracking. Pay close attention to the details of your conversation partners' lives and reference them in your conversations. This will create a sense of intimacy and make them feel like the center of attention. When you acknowledge the significant or even minor events in their lives, it reinforces their importance and makes them feel like a hero. People appreciate being recognized and valued, and it will strengthen your relationship with them. Technique 76. The business card dossier. Immediately after having a conversation with someone at a party or networking event, take out your pen and jot down some notes on the back of their business card. Write down anything that might help you remember the conversation later on, such as their favorite restaurant, sport, movie or drink, who they admire, where they grew up, or a high school honor they mentioned. Even a funny joke they told can be worth noting down. When you follow up with them later, casually reference something you remembered from your conversation, such as their favorite restaurant, movie, hometown, or high school prize. It shows that you were paying attention and care about them as an individual. Technique 77. Eyeball selling. Eyeball selling is a technique of using your eyes to sell a product, service, or idea. The way you look at someone can either create interest or turn them off. Pay attention to non-verbal cues in your customers and friends, as the body is constantly broadcasting messages such as "I'm interested," "I'm bored," "I like this feature," or "I'm falling asleep." Set the hidden cameras behind your eyeballs to pick up on all your customers and friends' signals. Once you have picked up on these cues, adjust your communication style and pace to better connect with them. Technique 78. See no bloopers, hear no bloopers. Effective communicators give their friends, associates, acquaintances, and loved ones the gift of feeling above commonplace mistakes and embarrassing biological functions. They graciously overlook minor spills, slips, fumbles, and faux pas, as well as other signs of human frailty. They never gape at another's mistakes or embarrassments. Furthermore, they are mindful of when someone is speaking and shining, and they ensure that the spotlight remains on them until they have finished speaking. They understand that abruptly pivoting to another topic can be disillusioning and interruptive. Technique 79. Lend a helping tongue. When a conversation is interrupted, let it be and allow everyone to attend to the matter at hand. When the group comes back together, show interest and ask the person whose story was interrupted to continue. Help them pick up where they left off by using prompts. This way, the person feels valued and heard, and the conversation can flow smoothly again. Technique 80. Whenever you suggest a meeting or ask for a favor, be transparent about the benefits for both parties involved. Clearly state what each person will gain from the interaction, even if it's nothing more than a chance to connect and catch up. If there are any hidden motives or agendas, they should be brought to light upfront to avoid any misunderstandings or negative perceptions. Transparency is key to building trust and strong relationships. Technique 81. Let them savor the favor. After a friend agrees to do a favor to you, give them time to bask in the satisfaction of their kindness for at least 24 hours before discussing any payment or repayment. Allow them to enjoy the feeling of being helpful without immediately jumping to the next task. This shows that you value and appreciate their generosity and are not taking their assistance for granted. Technique 82. Tit for tat. After someone has done you a favor and it seems like they owe you one, don't immediately ask for them to repay you. Allow them to bask in the good feelings of having done something kind without immediately expecting something in return. Give it some time before calling in the favor so that they can appreciate your friendship and generosity. Technique 83. Parties are for pratter. Parties are for pleasantries and good fellowship, not for confrontations. Big players, even when standing next to their enemies at the buffet table, smile and nod. They leave tough talk for tougher settings. Technique 84. Dinner is for dining. Big winners know that the dining table is a sacred space where no unpleasant topics are broached. While enjoying a meal, they focus on positive aspects of their business, such as their aspirations, goals, and visions. This is a time to let their minds roam freely, brainstorm new ideas, and engage in free association. They understand that any discussion of tough negotiations can ruin the culinary experience and cause indigestion. This rule also applies to social situations. If a friend or partner needs to discuss a difficult issue, it's best to wait until after the meal. They can savor the delicious food and save the heavy topics for later. Technique 85. Chance encounters are for chit-chat. If you are in a sensitive conversation or negotiation with someone, avoid using chance meetings to your advantage. Instead, maintain a positive and friendly tone in your interactions, even if they were unexpected. Otherwise, you risk ruining your relationship with important contacts or clients. Technique 86. Empty their tanks. To ensure you receive the information you need, allow people to fully express themselves before interjecting. Be patient and listen until they have said everything they need to say, until there is nothing left in their tank. This ensures that they have cleared their mind of any internal noise and are more receptive to your ideas. Technique 87. When seeking factual information in an emotional situation, allow people to express their emotions first. Listen to their facts, but also show understanding and empathy towards their emotions. Acknowledging and addressing their feelings can often be the key to diffusing the situation. Technique 88. My goof, your gain. When you make a mistake, go beyond just correcting the error. Instead, ask yourself, how can I turn this into an opportunity to make someone's day? Think about what you can do to make up for the mistake and bring a smile to their face. Whether it's a sincere apology, a small gift, or a kind gesture, make sure your victim benefits. By doing so, you can turn a negative situation into a positive one and earn their gratitude and loyalty. Your goof will become your gain. Technique 89. Leave an escape hatch. When you come across someone who is being dishonest, deceptive, or stealing, it may be best to avoid confronting them directly unless it's your duty to correct or capture them, or if others may be at risk. Let them off the hook and don't look back. It's better to focus your energy on surrounding yourself with honesty and trustworthy individuals. Technique 90. Buttercups for their boss. Buttercup is basically a complimentary letter. If you want exceptional service from someone, the most effective strategy is to express your appreciation for his excellent work to his boss. A positive comment or feedback from a satisfied customer is likely to make them feel valued and motivated to continue providing top-notch service to you and others. Technique 91. Lead the listeners. Regardless of how influential or powerful a speaker may be, it's important to remember that they may still have insecurities and anxieties about how their message is received by the audience. As a fellow successful person, you can gain their respect and favor by taking the lead in showing positive feedback. Show your agreement or admiration for the speaker by being the first to clap or offer public praise. By doing so, you'll not only help alleviate any worries the speaker may have, but also strengthen your relationship and potential for future collaboration. Technique 92. The Great Scorecard in the Sky. In any relationship, there exists an unseen balance of power that constantly shifts. It is important to be aware of this balance, as it determines who should show deference to the other. Failing to recognize and respect this balance can result in the end of the relationship. So friends, this brings us to the conclusion part of the summary. Friends, practice is the fountainhead of all smooth communications moves. Excellence is not a single and solitary action. It is the outcome of many years of making small, smooth moves, tiny ones like the 92 little tricks we've explored in the book. These moves create your destiny. Remember, repeating an action makes a habit. Your habits create your character, and your character is your destiny. May success be your destiny.